Hi Flosstube, it's Lynn, the Canadian Stitcher. Hello and welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm so close to 250 subscribers. Tell your friends, there's going to be a giveaway. Thank you for all of your comments and your likes and subscribes, questions, and also for letting me know where in the world are you. So I have been binge watching on my TV and I can't leave comments then. So what I do is if there's a particular video that I really like, then I'll open up my phone or I'll go to my desktop computer and then comment or ask a question or give a thumbs up or whatever. Yeah, I don't like watching on my phone as much. I prefer watching it either on my large screen TV upstairs or the medium screen TV in the living room. I just find it easier, then I can just see, it puts the red line for the ones that are already done and I can just scroll through them. And I do tend to binge watch one person from start to their first video all the way to their last one. And then the plan is eventually to have everybody caught up, and then when I sit down on a Saturday, I just watch everybody's most recent weekly video or 2 weeks or months or whatever it is. So that's going to take me some time. I think I've been watching A Stitch Too Far Ingeborg for 2 weekends in a row. I'm about halfway done. Oh my goodness, she's got such good videos and such good content. She really knows her cross stitch, and I think she said she hasn't even been doing it for that long, but she's really good, and her videos are good. And she gives random Dutch facts, which I think are really cute too. She talks different things about the Netherlands. So this week we're going to be looking at the progress I made last week. Here comes Lucy. I have a FO and an FFO. I have an event announcement, and we're going to do world map. I have a little tiny haul and plans for this week, what I'll be working on. This video I'm going to be doing a HAED parade. At the end I'll do all this other stuff first, and then if you don't want to stay for the HAED parade you can just sign out, and yeah. Next week's video I'm planning sorry, just give me a second. Yeah, I'll talk about that at the end. Actually, I've put that for the end. So I'm going to be doing another giveaway when I get to 250 subscribers, and 500, and 750, and 1,000 if I ever get there. But 250, I have 248 right at this moment, so that's really impresses me. I'm so pleased that many people are wanting to watch my videos and see what I'm up to. If you would like a sneak peek at some of the things that I include in the giveaway, so my 100 subscriber giveaway was Sandy B stitches, and I showed what it was going to be. It was a frame and a cross stitch picture to do, and then I stuffed the box with a whole bunch of other things. So her video, her Flosstube video that's dated 1/10/19, shows her actually going through the box, and she was so pleased with everything. That was exactly the reaction I was hoping for. I'm really happy that she did it on camera, because then I got to see it, and I was so much hoping that she was going to like the things that I included in it. So I did hand knit her a scarf, or arm knitted her a scarf, and I included some jewelry. So I think I've told you that I used to have a jewelry business. It ended 2 years ago. I just couldn't physically do it anymore with lifting all the stuff and setting up displays and all that. So last year I didn't do it. That was the first summer in 12 years that I hadn't done the jewelry business in the summer. So I do have some stock left over, like actually jewelry that's already made up, and I do have some supplies. And I need to clean it up and make a decision about what I'm going to do with it. So currently some of it is in my basement and some of it is in my dining room, which was my jewelry making and storage area. The problem was, every time I tried to think about what I was going to do with it, I would just get this knot in my stomach, and it just made me so anxious to even try to figure out what am I going to do with all this stuff. Like I could donate it all. That just doesn't seem right either. So when I came up with the idea that if I'm going to do giveaways, I can include some of my jewelry stock or make some new pieces with some of the inventory of supplies that I have and include those in the boxes. So if you do ever get a giveaway or special box from me. If there's stuff in there that you don't like or you can't make use of, please pass it on to someone else. I did have quite an extensive amount of children's jewelry, which I would like to include in the boxes too. And if you don't have a child or a niece or nephew or, you know, a youngster in your life, just pass them on to someone else and let some child enjoy them. And yeah, so Sandy B Stitchers, she's got a sneak peek of what's in those boxes, and it's going to change all the time too. No two people will ever probably get the same box of treats. And in her video, she does talk about the unboxing of that, and then near the end of the video, or kind of 3/4 of the way through, she actually has the scarf on and shows how it is. And she was so pleased. Made me so happy that she was so pleased with her win. So I want to say, maybe a little slogan for my YouTube channel will be, come for the cross stitch, stay for the giveaways, because there's going to be some good ones. So let's do the world map first of all, and my Lucy's here to help throw things on the floor. Oy. Okay, so let's look at the map first. So I did fill in a few more. One more from Europe, I think. Sorry, I just don't want that to fall over there. I think that's okay. So Alaskan Stitcher, sorry, you had given me, or you said your Flosstube name and said you were from Alaska, and when I was looking at the map last week, I was like, why isn't there a pin for Alaska? I knew I had someone from Alaska, so I'm sorry I missed you, but you're there now. The only one so far. I have V Pickstock in Napanee, Ontario, Canada. Cynthia M in Ohio, USA. Heather, I can't pronounce the rest of it. I'm not sure what it says. TEWKSBURYHT. She's from Zionsville, Pennsylvania. That's what we'll get from that. Heather. Dahlia is in Springfield, Massachusetts. Alessandra is in Sudbury, Ontario. Carolyn H in Wommeldorf, Pennsylvania. And Terry Lee from Terry Lee Crafts, Quaker Hill, Connecticut. And Terry Lee, I will be sending that little box to you. There'll be a note in it that's going to kind of explain, it ends up being a 2-part gift, and there'll be a note in there that'll explain that to you. So then you can expect another one a little bit later on. Linda Pattison from the Bay Area, California. Nina Hobby Site, and she's near Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And Lena D is in Vilnius, Lithuania. So there was 2 new ones from European countries. Oh, he scratched me. Okay, quit. So last week I was working on the Treasure Hunt Bookshelf. Don't put your claws. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. He needs a nanny. That's what he needs. Someone who sits and pays attention to him all day long and does nothing else. But he's so demanding. Okay, so this is the bottom left corner of Heaven and Earth Designs Treasure Hunt Bookshelf. Artwork by Amy Stewart. And I started at the bottom corner there, and I'm just working across there to start filling in the first page of, or the first 2 pages of that book. So I think I made some pretty good progress in a week for that full coverage, and it's done on 20 count, size sand, Ada, in 36 by 43. So that's bigger than what I needed, but I still do the 3-inch border, and if there's extra left over after, I can cut it off and use it for Christmas ornaments or bookmarks or whatever. So with the 20 count, I had to use my magnifier. I'm hoping it'll be better in the summer when there's normal daylight. Sun isn't so low in the sky. I'm not sure though. The visor magnifier that I have, it tends to bother me after a while. I think with the visor it pushes down on my own glasses, and that makes my own glasses push down, and I'm starting to get a bit of like nose pain. And then the way I hold it, I have my neck really crooked down like this as I'm doing the stitching. So I would try to take frequent breaks and do a little bit of neck massage and that. Just so I've got one in my cart from 123 Stitch. That's it's a clip-on magnifier with a light, and I'm going to try it. I'm not sure how heavy that's going to be to clip it onto the actual cross stitch, but I'm going to give it a try instead of using the visor. Okay, so I did start or continue on Monday. I said my plans were going to be for the Thomas Kinkade Candamar Designs Victorian Garden 2 Lamppost Vignette. And if you notice, something's missing from the board because I finished it. So this is an FO, a finished object. It has not been washed yet. And that's how it turned out. I put in way more stitches than what they called for in the pattern. They give you a lot of floss. So I thought, well, I'm not going to use that floss for anything else because it's only on Candamar dimensions, right? So yeah, I put in more than it called for, but then I also have to keep reminding myself to just let it breathe and not fill the entire thing. I wanted that white picket fence to remain white. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. So it took me from Monday evening till Friday evening to finish that one, just working in the evenings after work. And I did have quite a few errands this week, so I was stopping my way home from work. So I'm going to keep this one that was on my bulletin board because these are my planned finishes, right? And I told you I was going to be bringing a shelf up here. I'll probably just clip this somewhere over that we can see that I have a finish, but I want to keep that until the end of the year. When I finished that one on Friday, yeah, so then yesterday I got up and I have a thread hanging there. I did get to the Northwind Owl that I had planned on. This is a dimensions kit. Northwind Owl, 14 by 9. The fabric is 18 by 13, and there is some half cross stitches in this. And the artist is Susan Burdett, and it's a 14 count white Ada. So with this one, any of the parts that are appearing to be white are not stitched as far as I can tell. They're just left as what the fabric is, which I like that because it's going to give it a different texture too. So that's how far I got. I'm just working down on this first little snowdrift here in the blue. Lots of blue. So this one actually is working out pretty quick. I think I'm about halfway through the bottom corner, at least halfway through. I didn't think this one was going to take too terribly long, so there's that. And I did sorry, gotta look at my notes. Right, the ornament of the week, the Christmas ornament of the week challenge that I'm doing for myself. So I did make this little one and I actually did fully finish it. Just a little Santa face with a red ribbon. It's Jan Lynn. I'm so sorry. I stuck the Christmas box out in the hallway because there was just too much stuff in here. It's a Jan Lynn kit. I'll show it to you again at another time. So the reason I wanted to go ahead and do this one and then finish it off is because I'm planning out an event. I'm going to be hosting or co-hosting Learn to Cross Stitch event at, we haven't decided on the location yet, but I'm inviting some of the ladies that I work with or any of the guys if they want to join too. It's going to be free, and I will provide all the supplies to make this actual little ornament. So I wanted to have this done so I could put it up with the sign up sheet at work, and then people can see, well, if they don't know what cross stitch is, they can look at this, and then I'm also going to ask them to check out my YouTube channel, and if they're interested, they can come to a free class. So we're probably going to do 2 Saturdays in a row, just because the staff that I work with do shift work. I don't, I work Monday to Friday, but so we'll probably do 2 Saturdays in a row, and if one of them only, Lucy grabbed it. If only one of them has like a couple of people, we might just scrap it, or I could teach them at work on my lunch break or something, I'm not sure. But if you're in the Edmonton or St. Albert area, here's the beast. God, he's so heavy. If you're in the Edmonton or St. Albert area and you want to learn how to cross stitch, or you know somebody who does want to learn how to cross stitch and you want to come to just a free event, just send me an email. My email address is lyncsjewelry@shaw.ca. So that's lyncsjewelry@shaw.ca. I'll try to remember to include it in the down bar. So I'm going to be providing all the supplies, and this little ornament has full cross stitch, back stitch, and French knots. So this will be a good learning piece. It's not a whole lot to stitch. You basically stitch in his face, the hat, and then do back stitching around the beard and the hat. Excellent piece for someone to just learn to start on. And the French knots I wanted to talk about. So Simply in Stitches, Tina, I was just watching one of her videos this morning, and she did a French knot tutorial. I realized I've been doing my French knots wrong for the last 30 years, and I wondered why they weren't turning out right, because I was winding my thread in the wrong direction. I can't describe it, but Tina's video is excellent. I looked at it and I was like, that's not how I do it. And then I picked mine up and I did it once, and it seems to be a kind of an odd way to do it, but that's the correct way, because then hers turned out perfectly into those little roses. So I do have a Thomas Kinkade coming up that has a lot of French knots in it, and I'm going to perfect them now that I know how to do them right. Thank you, Tina. The event that I'm planning, the Learn to Cross Stitch event, the first one might be next weekend on Saturday the 19th, and then another one on the 26th, or it'll be the 26th and 2nd. So if it does turn out that we're going to go ahead with that class, and I've got hair on my nose. If we go ahead with that class on the 19th, I'll put up a quick video just to let you know where we'll be meeting and what time. I need to know the number of people that are coming so I can get all their kits made up in advance. And let me just peek back at my notes. So we did the world map. We talked about my weekly progress. Talked about Learn to Cross Stitch, providing the supplies. Okay, so now we're down to haul. Small haul. I have to stop. So I did find suspender or mitten clips, they're called, at Michael's, and this is just a roll of Velcro, and I figured out how to make those stitch clips. If you want to see how to make them or how to use them right away, let me know. Just leave a comment and I'll do a quick tutorial on making them and how to use them. I wasn't going to do that video again until I bring out the Celtic Spring, because that's the one I'm using it for on my scroll rods. But if you want to know sooner how to make those, so it's with the scroll rods, you wrap it around the scroll rod and you clip it to the fabric, and then with the Velcro roller tighten it up so that the whole piece of the linen or Aida cloth or whatever you're working on is tighter with a more even tension. I mentioned that in my tips and trick video, I think. I'd have to go back. So I did get enough to make 2 pairs of those. I got some little keys, 9-piece keys. I can't tell, I'm not sure if they're wooden or they're plastic, but I'm going to make some needle minders out of these. I thought that would be fun. I love skeleton keys. And then I got some steampunk cogs, clocks, hearts, just a little variety pack there. I do have a little drawer with some steampunk things in them because there are, I think, 3 cross stitches that I want to do that kind of have a steampunk theme. But I'm going to start first with these. I'm just going to make myself a couple of needle minders. These are buttons, but I'll take the back of them off and just make a couple of needle minders just because I really like steampunk. I don't know that much about it, but I like the style. I did find the gold adhesive back paper at Michael's. This was not in the cross stitch section. This was in the scrapbooking section. Printable gold foil. And what the use of this is, or the intended use of it is to make stickers and then cut them out. But I'm going to use these on the backs of my plastic canvas Christmas ornaments as the backing, just to cover up. And I mean, that's exactly what it is adhesive back foil, which is what I needed. I did get my Dimensions Gold Collection Fairy Tale. So this one goes with, I move them, the Winter Enchantress and the Fall Fairy. And then I showed, I think last week, the spring one. And then this is what I'm going to consider to be the summer one. These 4 will be hung in a set. There's a little elf pixie or whatever with a flute. There's a little elf or something riding on a bunny, and then 2 little girl elves there. These ones are full coverage, but they do go pretty fast. There's lots of half stitches in these. So this one I won't start until I complete one of these other ones. The spring and this one will replace those 2 as I finish those 2. And I did place a little order with 1, 2, 3 stitch, because when I was pulling my floss for the 2 Christmas starts and the 2 New Year starts of the HAEDs, I saw some colors that I was down on. I always like to have 2 in my master set, and so there was some that I had pulled that I actually need maybe 6 of them for, and I only had 2 or whatever. So I ordered from 1, 2, 3 Stitch just a bag of the DMC, the colors that I needed. There's something that I'm working on. Sorry, at the top of my head, I can't remember which one it is, but I needed the metallic, very fine crenlic. And I meant to order 4 of these, but I only ordered 1. There's 2, I'm not sure what it is that I'm working on, but I need 2 rolls of it for 2 different pictures. So I'm going to bobbinate all those. Some of them are going to end up going into my bins of my current projects that I'm working on, and some will go into my master set. I did get these needle threaders. Haven't tried them out yet. I got 2 of them, so I can leave 1 set at work. I think it was Stitcherista that I showed these, and how easy these are. I find that those little ones, the little ones that look like a little coin with the wire on it, I find that those break so easy. So I want to try these and see how those ones work. And then I ordered some more petite needles, because I don't have one at work. So this is size 26, which is my preferred size, and this is size 28, which is too small for me. I'm not going to be able to thread those, so these will go into a giveaway or a goodie bag or something. But I'll keep the 26s and take 1 to work. And I did get a couple more floss bins just because I used them all when I was doing my pulling all my threads for the HAEDs. And then, of course, like I said, once I clean up the jewelry stuff, I have many of those tubs. So, yeah. And then I went to my local needle workshop, which is, I told them the last time, Mr. Frame. And they're on Tudor Glen Place in St. Albert, Alberta, right near my house. So I went there. She still had some stuff on clearance. And then I wanted to talk to her about if she would co-host the event with me, and she's thinking about it, and she's going to let me know tomorrow. Either way, though, it doesn't, I'll still continue to shop there. I just thought that would be an idea if we could use the store space, but she'll let me know tomorrow. I did get more of the gold stars, sequins, and more of the silver stars, because they were 50 cents, and I know I can use those. And then she had these just little frames, you know, like, because I was planning on doing, you know, these little ones. I thought she had these ones too for $1. So I got 6. But that'll be some of them. If I do like the free classes, this is the kind of thing that I would include in the little kits that I make up for the free classes. And then I looked through her charms again, and I did find a couple more things: a Santa face, a zebra, a flower cart, a carousel horse, a Christmas bell. Yeah, cute little charms. She had these for 50 cents. I've kind of picked through the bag that she had there. And then on clearance, she had the lavender and lace. Victorian design. This is Serendipity. I'm not sure if I'm going to stitch these ladies in at the bottom here. Yeah, they're ladies. I don't know. I'll see. I'll see when I get to it. I think I might just do the flowers and maybe just expand on the flowers coming up here a bit more and leave out the ladies. Don't know. We'll see. And I did get from Mr. Frame again. That's two. It's just because there's too much stuff here. He's going to knock stuff over. So I did get a self-stick mounting board also. I just want to try it because I did pick up some inexpensive frames for all of the, not all of them, but the smalls of the FOs, or not such great, the FOs that I had showed in my finished object and unframed video. So there's two that I did take to the frame shop, the Early Spring and the Country Pantry. Both of those I had frames for. One of them I needed matting, but I had the frame in glass, and the other one I needed just glass because I'm not going to mat that one, the Early Spring. It's just, it's not a masterpiece to me. It was a learning project. I see it where there's errors in it, that kind of thing. It's going to be hung in my living room, sort of like far away from where I do my stitching. So none of that's going to be in focus all of the time for me, but it was a learning piece to me, and I don't want to put a ton of money into framing something like that. It's okay. It's not my best work, right? So this week I will be doing another Christmas ornament for the ornament challenge of the week. I will be going back to Flight of the Lynx. Tell me I don't have a picture. I thought I was so good at organizing today. I had all the patterns sitting out here and everything. Anyway, this is the Flight of the Lynx. This was a little start that I made on New Year's Eve. Yeah, so that was just one day. I wasn't working that day, and this is how much I got done. So for this week, this has only had one day worked on it so far, so I am going to do that one for the whole week. And the Christmas ornament we talked about. Okay. And took pictures of the frame shop. So next week's video, I should be doing the FFOs. So hopefully those two pictures will be done at the frame shop. I do have another one to take to the frame shop, but that's okay. And then I'm going to do that self-framing myself for a bunch of them. So the beginning of that video is going to be the FFOs, so the fully finished objects that I've recently got done. I'm not going through my whole house again like I did in the other video, but and then the second part of the video is going to be the FFOs baby edition. So the samplers that I had made for my kids and babies, and their blankets, their Afghans, bibs, bottle warmers, all kinds of stuff. So that'll be the second part of the video, and then if you don't want to stay for that, you don't have to. So, and then today, now, one other thing I want to show you. This is my rough copy calendar that I just sort of scribble things on and then pencil, and I can erase things. But I did get things a bit more organized on a big calendar. So for the first, I circled it because that was a new start. That was Treasure Hunt Bookshelf. I did the Thomas Kinkade through the week, and then back to the owl. And so for next week, it's Flight of the Lynx. The week after that is going to be Winter Enchantress. The week after that is going to be Discovery. So what I set up for myself for a rotation is a small, then an extra large. I'm considering the HAEDs or full coverage extra large. So small, extra large, medium, extra large, large, extra large, small, extra large, repeat. So that way everything is going to get attention. Everything will be worked on, everything that's on the board. And then there are some days for the new starts. We talked about that last time too, for February 1st and February 14th. And then I work those into the rotation also, and as things come out, some things will be replaced, like the Celtic. When I finish that, I start the next Celtic. Yeah, so I do have a calendar, more for me just to keep track of what's going on, and sort of like planning to the end of the month. So we'll do the HAED parade, and I think I have everything. So I showed you the Flight of the Lynx Treasure Hunt Bookshelf, the Panthero Leo Lion, and Discovery. Yeah, so these are these 4 here. These are all the ones that I've started and I'm working on. So I'll show you the rest of the HAED charts that I have. Some of them I have fabric for already, and some of them are in plans to start this year in 2019. And some of them I have no plans of starting. When I get to them, I'll get them. And then realizing too that my taste may change and I may not want to actually stitch something that I bought in 2018. I don't know. I've got some funny styles here. So okay, so we'll start. First of all, I just want to say this is a full coverage, but it's not a HAED. This is a fractal image full coverage. I don't remember how many pages that is, but and I'll probably I might do that one when I finish up with this Lynx cat here. And then Artisy is called Dawn's Outpost, and it's an owl kind of looking down at a cabin that's glowing light. Yeah, Dawn's Outpost. So another owl for my living room. This is full coverage, but not as big as the HAEDs are. And for that one, I got 16 count ice blue fabric. And then I have the enlarged copies. So where you see that I have these big pieces of paper, that's because I've taken the chart to Staples and I have made, or had made for me, large copies. Just to make it easier to see, it's easier to highlight. Okay, so 2 that I have for possible starts, probable starts, let's say. So I'm thinking of 3 more HAEDs. I know last week I said 2, and now I remember there's another one. So there might be 3 more HAED starts in 2019. So this one is called Bath Time. I've seen someone working on the mini version of this, and it is beautiful. Oh my goodness, her face is so pretty. So this is artwork by Selena Finetch, 400 by 565. And I am going to be using, so I've got the fabric for this one, so then I just need to pull threads. This is an 18 count platinum Ada, and I got 36 by 43. So that's one that's going to be a 2019. The next one is, let's see if I can just do it like this. This one is called Blue Dragon. That's so cool. She's so pretty. Alina Lazareva is the artist. 450 by 609. And for her, I don't have the fabric yet, but I selected 16 count antique white, and it's in my cart on 1, 2, 3 stitch. So I'll be getting that one because this is going to be a new start. And the other one that I said kind of snuck up and said, yeah, what about me? Can I get a start? Oh, now I found another one too. Darn it. This one is called, so cute. This is called An Angel Gets Her Wings. And it's a little tiny elf pinning the wings on that little angel with boots. She's wearing boots. It's just so cute. And this one is not, well, it's, it isn't full coverage because you don't stitch any of the background with this as far as I can tell so far. Like this is page 1, and there are no stitches on it. It's completely blank. So this one I think would be a quicker HAED. And I know that around Christmas time next year I'm going to, and fall and Christmas like I did this year, I'm going to be starting on HAED sort of as nice seasonal kind of projects. So she's so cute. And then there was one more. Okay. This one is called Snow Princess. By Ruth Sanderson. Again, man, I really like Ruth's work. Polar Princess, and Cowgirl Kate Paints a Plenty had this one. She had worked on across the top there. Really, really nice. And this one is 400 by 318 stitches, so it's actually a bit smaller than the other ones that I have selected here. So that might be a Christmas start for next year. I'll see. I'll see how far I can get with all these too. That one I do not have fabric for yet. Okay, and then we'll look at some I do have the fabrics for picked out. So this is Jupiter's Moon. This was a free chart from Heaven and Earth. When I had first gone on there, they had this one for free. And it's interesting. Looks like the great orange spot there. That little moon there, I had to go on the pictures and I figured out that that moon that they're showing is actually Io, which is not, that's not where it's positioned, but they, you know, for artistic effect or whatever, that's where they put it. Sort of right along the edge there. This one is Michelle Sayada and 525 by 489. So I selected 16 count, 36 by 37 inches in platinum. Whenever I can, if I can use 16 count, I will, just because it's so much easier on my eyes. Some of them, they don't have a size that's appropriate for that. I have to go up to 18, and then sometimes I have to go up to the 20. So I don't think I would do anything smaller than a 20. It's hard to stitch for me with my eyes in those little tiny squares. So these ones are going to go over here. Okay. And my Lucy is keeping warm. This one I have the fabric for. This one is called Waiting. It's a mermaid. Hope you can see that okay. It's a mermaid drawing a little heart in the sand there. This one's by Selena Finesh again, 400 by 565. And this one I have plans for. I want to put some crystals. I'm probably going to be putting some crystals in her hair. I'll be putting some crystals along her tail and in this water and into the sunset. And then I have got something in mind for the sand there. I'll have to see how they stitch up for how I'm going to embellish them. Another one I have paper or a fabric picked out for. Oh, this one's big, big, big. This one is so pretty. It's a small Magellanic cloud. You'd have to look that up, Google it, and it explains what it is. I can't explain it. And this one's by Michelle Sayada again. Now this one I did end up getting 20 count ivory Ada 36 by 42 inch piece in 20 count. So that would be another one that I'm going to need to use magnifiers for. But it's so pretty, and I did see somebody that had showed their progress on this one, and it really works up pretty. Like, oh, just gorgeous. Really, really nice. I have another fall one. So this is Hunter's Moon. Look at her dress. It's beautiful. Allison Spokes is the artist, 450 by 613. I like that owl. And for that one, I picked out Country Mocha, 18 count, 46 by 43. So that's kind of variegated there. I think there's only one more. Oh, lied. There's two more I have paper for. Or not paper, material. Sorry. Okay, so this one is called The Race. Another Flying Lynx by Josephine Wall. So I actually had gotten this one at the same time that I got the other lynx, Flight of the Lynx, but I don't want to work on two very similar things at the same time. Not like this. Because this is really detailed. So this one has more in it hidden in there than the Flight of the Lynx one. So there's the lynx and the girl. This is a little fairy with butterfly wings. There's a ram with somebody riding. There's a face there. There's another person. There's a unicorn. Like it's just fascinating. You look at all, you just think, oh, that's just some background, but it's all objects or people or, yeah, that's really pretty. So for this one, I selected a 18 count silver moon, 36 by 43, because that's the same fabric that I'm using for the other Josephine Wall Flight of the Lynx, and these two would be hung together whenever they're finished, so I want them to have the same fabric. And the last one that I have fabric picked up for is Traveling Buddies. I really like giraffes. Yeah, so it's a giraffe with a little girl. It's really pretty. Looks like they're going through some kind of a portal. And this is by Jenna Della Grottula Donald. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Bad at names. Same artist that did this on Discovery. Yeah. So that one's really pretty too. There's more. You want to see more? Somebody commented last week that I don't do anything halfway. That's right. I probably won't be buying any. I doubt. I'm hoping to not buy any more HAEDs this year. I have a ton of stuff. And if I feel like I want to do something or start something, instead of looking for something to buy, I'm going to look in my own space here for something to stitch instead of always buying. But this was a year. Yeah. A year of getting back at cross stitching. Okay, Lucy, you got to move. Move, because this is really heavy. Okay, so these ones I have large copies, but I don't necessarily have the fabrics for yet. This is another mermaid. This one is called Between Two Worlds. Artwork by David Hofrichter. And she's got, I don't know if I'd say that. It looks like she's wearing a necklace, and then she's got like little beads in her hair and stuff. There's a pearl. So I'm going to do some interesting things in the sand here, and with her tail and her hair is probably going to be really embellished. If I live to be 100 and I finish all these. Okay, next one is a winter scene again. Sorry, I couldn't leave all of these unclipped, or it would have just ended up being a big mess pile. So this one is called The Scout, with those two snow leopards and the castle in the background, and that pretty lady with her fur. This is by Tamara Markgard, 525 by 525. It's a lot of gray. It's really pretty though. I like winter scenes. I'm thinking I might do an actual winter wall that would be around, you know, November, December. But then maybe in the high summer when it's hot. Do you ever remember there was Coca-Cola commercials? These were my favorite commercials ever. So in the summertime, Coca-Cola, I believe it was Coca-Cola, I think so, had a commercial that said, "We interrupt this summer to bring you some scenes of winter." And it showed all these winter things like skiing and snowmobiling and all that kind of stuff. And then in the wintertime, they'd say, we interrupt this winter to show you some scenes of summer. And then show a bunch of people, you know, surfing and swimming and all kinds of summer activities. So I might adapt that and then have a little wall that would be winter scenes in the summer and then summer scenes in the winter with a cross-stitch banner or something. I think that would be fun. Yeah. Don't know. Lots of plans. Got big plans for everything. Need more time. Okay, this is another really big one. This one is Ex Machina. It's kind of steampunk, I think, with the hat and the goggles. So I do have a bunch of steampunk embellishments that are going to go into the picture. This one's by Chris Ortega, 450 by 628. So this is a good size one. I'm planning on doing some steampunk embellishments in the picture, but also when it gets framed, that I'd want to do some steampunk sort of, you know, clocks and watch faces and cogs and all that stuff onto the frame too. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of. And then there's a companion piece to that one. And this one's called Inner Depths, Chris Ortega, also 500 by 700. And this one on the Heaven and Earth website, it does show up much lighter than this so that you can actually see good detail of what's in there. But the copy that I got is really, really dark. So it's not showing a whole lot of detail. And she's kind of steampunk too. She's got the goggles on her head and she's wearing a necklace and the boots with the buckles. So this one, same thing. I'll probably do some steampunk embellishments within the picture and then also onto the frame. This one is called First Snow. I think this is the biggest one. It's huge. First Snow with a little fox and a chipmunk with the snowflake. I like foxes too. Artwork by Amy Stewart, 500 by 769. This one is total amount of 90 pages. Well, not all 90 pages, but a total of 90. Let me stick a copy of that one. Okay, then I have Whirlpool Galaxy, or the Whirlpool Galaxy. This one, it's a NASA image. It's one of those NASA image ones, but I think this is probably one of the Hubble pictures, which I'm fascinated with the Hubble also. And I think this one is a closer, and this one is a further back galaxy, like more in the background. And this looks like it's all black. That is a lot of black. So I'm not sure if I would just stitch the Whirlpool one. I think I might just leave this one off that's faded into the background and just stitch this actual Whirlpool one. It's not huge. This one is 625 by 499. But if I cut the size down, it'll be okay. And another fox. This one's called Sunrise Sentry, with a little fox looking down on a castle at sunrise. This artwork is by Amy Stewart. This one is 700 by 500. And so many people have this one. It's beautiful. I like seeing people's progress on this one. This is A Stitch in Time by Amy Stewart. 4 seasons of stitching. Spring, summer, fall, winter. This one's really interesting to look at. It's just got so many details on these shelves, and oh. I won't start that one until I finish the Treasure Hunt Bookshelf. This one caused some laughter last year at Christmas. I'm just going to show you this bit first. So this is Heaven and Earth Queen by Elena Lazareva. So there she is. Beautiful, beautiful headdress, beautiful collar, necklace, and then there's that. And of course my sons were over on Christmas, and this was a gift. And so I held it up and I said to my sons, what do you see when you look at this? And both of them were like, boobs. So I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful artwork. I just think it's so distracting. Like, her face is so pretty. And even the way they have all that embellishment in her hair and her necklace. So when I stitch this, I may take off the lower portion, or just not stitch the lower portion and just have it end where her necklace ends there. And then for this one, I was planning on using a lot of metallic thread and Swarovski crystals to really bling this one up. And I just don't want anything to be distracting from how pretty her face is and the jewelry that she has on and the head headwear she has on. It's really, really stunning, but it's kind of jumps out at you. Queen boobs. This one I had gotten a really long time ago. This is one of the ones that I got when I was wondering how you would possibly complete something like this. It didn't make any sense to me when I opened them up and hid them in my cupboard. So this one is Heaven and Earth 2, artwork by Dennis Lewin. Sorry, it's not a rattling, and it's called Mystic Mansion. So it's a castle or a cottage, I guess. So that's another full coverage. And this one is called Birth of a Star by Rachel Anderson. And this one I'm not sure about. I didn't know about having Heaven and Earth remove a background before I ordered this. And then I ordered one. I'll show you, it's in the bin, but I had the background removed because that is a lot of stitching with just solid black or whatever it is, right? So there's the final page, and it's basically all the same symbol except for 2 stitches. So I don't know if I'd really want to sit and stitch all of that black. I wish there was a way that you could just pick out what the stitching part is. So I'm not sure about this one. I'm thinking I might do this and pass the stash and then go back to Heaven and Earth and order it without the background and just do it on a nice piece of black or dark blue fabric instead. So I have to think about that one. I also got Moon Charmer. That one's pretty too. I'm going to crystal that one up. This is Amy Stewart again, 525 by 765. And then I have a little collection of owls. So, Quick Stitch, Wings of a Messenger. That one. So that's just a portion out of a different picture, and I might end up. You see how that's actually a wing and the person's arm there, or the angel's arm. So I might just make this the same as what the trees are, just so there isn't something that's starting to show in there and it doesn't actually show up. And then I also got Dusk by Alexandra Daw. And again, that's one I probably wish I would have known, that you could remove the background and just do the foreground of the owl with these and then do it on some really nice fabric. But I've got them now. That one's not huge though. It's 450 by 361. That's one of the smaller ones. And I also got Aveline Owl. Lots of green in that one. I'm not sure if that's just the way it translates to that, or whether it's going to be that much green. I suppose it would be okay in my living room. And this one's by Cheryl Baker Avalon. This one's 475 by 593, so that's a bit bigger one too. And they had another free chart. And this one was called Dancing Auroras by Amy Stewart. This is a portion of a bigger picture, and I'm not sure which bigger picture it is, but it has a fairy playing a cello, a viola, and a violin. So it's I want to say quartet, but there's 3 of them. I'm not sure if that still makes them a quartet. My kids are the musical ones. I am not. Don't understand. Okay, this one, we're almost done. And I promise you there's no bins hidden anywhere. There's more in it. I am missing one. It's another owl one. Once Upon a Fairy Tale. I can't find it. No. It's here somewhere. I just couldn't locate it to do this. This one is Curiosity. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, and the colors are so pretty on this. This is... I'm having a hard time reading the person's signature. Amy Brown? Amy Brown, yeah. That dragon is so pretty. Nice colors in that. That one's called Curiosity. This next one, kind of similar to that one. This one's called Encounter, but this one looks closer to two other ones that I have. This is Amy Brown, 450 by 363, so not huge again. This one is huge. This one, oh, this is the one where no, it's the other one. Okay, so this one is called Mystique by Amy Brown also. And it was 440 by 624. And the background is basically beige. And when I order fabric, most likely the fabric's going to be beige. So there's not much point in stitching beige on beige. So I did get the no background. And I would just do it on beige cloth, possibly even hand dyed or, you know, something like that. But there's some variants to it, but not stitch beige on beige. It doesn't make any sense. Same for this one. So this one, I actually, when I ordered it, I said take out the background. And this one's called Autumn Griffin. And same thing, so much beige in there, or ivory. So I would just be doing the foreground and then the leaves up at the top. This one's by Amy Brown, 433 by 562. And this one is Wood Elves, again by Amy Brown. These are all kind of similar, sort of similar in tone and theme. If I live to be 100 and I get them all done, these would probably all be hung in the same location, like as a master wall or something. Last one! We made it! And this one matches that other one there. This one's called Rose Spell. Beautiful. And this, of course, is by Amy Brown, also 400 by 491. So not massive, but still full coverage. Still lots of work. Lots of stitching. That's what I like to do. Okay, now I'm going to look back at my notes again, and then I have to clean all this up. I'm going to separate it into 3 different categories. So the HAEDs, I would say that they are challenging due to the size of them. But whether you're stitching this or something that's really big, it's just one stitch after another. You're just stitching. That's all it is. Following the pattern, counting. So I do cross country and I don't grid. I just count. And I'm constantly counting, and then I count back to where the previous stitches were, and I usually double check everything. If I do make a mistake, I try to get rid of it, go back, frog it, and get rid of that mistake. Sometimes if it's quite a far ways into the picture and I realize I've missed one color or something, some of them are like that, you have only one square for that one color, I'll just fill in with a nearby color. I would change it if it was something in, let's say, a lip or an eye or eyebrow. If they're wearing any type of embellishments, jewelry or something like that, there I'd want to be more particular to make sure that I get the detail without making a mistake in something like an eye. But if it's in the dress or something like that, I just do it with another. Nobody's ever going to know if you missed one stitch and put it in a different color, you know, a similar color that's close by. I do feather into the next page, so that makes it a little bit more complicated because I'm usually juggling two charts at the same time. And I start at the bottom, but whether you start at the bottom, the top, and you want to work in cross country or do columns or do rows, it's whatever works for you. at your own pace. You can set yourself up some small goals. I'm going to do 20 stitches today, or whatever it is. I wouldn't dissuade anybody from giving it a try. My first one was only 16 pages. It was that early spring one. It was not from heaven and earth. And I said, this is a learning piece, and if it didn't turn out, I wasn't even going to be bothered by it. I just wanted to learn on that piece. And there was some mistakes that were made on it that were really obvious. So that's why I'm not putting a whole lot into framing that one. But I really did learn from that. It was a really good way to learn. So Heaven and Earth does have things that minis. They have minis. They also have quick stitches, QS they call them, and they also have story keeps. So all of those are just little parts of the larger pictures. So if you'd want to try one and you're not sure whether you'd want to enjoy doing full coverage, try doing one of those smaller ones. They have the minis. Just once you go through, all of them are in alphabetical order, and then you just go to the M's for mini, or go to Q for QS, the quick stitch, or story keeps. I would encourage anybody, just give it a try. See if you like it. Just buy something small, and it, not break the bank, but do one and just try it and see if you like it or not. There's other companies that sell full coverage. I'm aware of that. I get overwhelmed really easy, so Heaven and Earth. I've got it all organized in the way I like it. I have my wish list set up, and I have some notes set up. So I've gone on other sites and I've looked, and I know I've already got so much to do. I'm just gonna keep to that one company for now. So that's all for today. Next week we talked about I'm going to be working on Flight of the Lynx. I'm planning that free Learn to Cross Stitch event, and hopefully 2 more people. Come on, I need two more people to be 250 subscribers so I can do another giveaway. So that'll probably be next Sunday. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again. Bye.